Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. Who did we lose? Oh, I know he'll be back. Uh,
You hit the
thank
wrong
all y'all.
button.
Thank all y'all for being here this evening. Kyle, do that thing you do, man.
Good evening, everybody. It's great to see everybody. Another wonderful week. Um, Great day above the grass. I'm sure we can all attest to that,
There
which
he is.
I would hope that you could if you're listening to this. Good to see everybody in the side chat. Y'all are popping and hopping like you always do. Uh, Gene, talk to us, brother.
Yabba dabba doo. Hey, thanks for having me on tonight. I greatly appreciate you. Friday night's one of my favorite nights of the week, man. Let me tell you, I love being on this chat with this great panel, and the side chat's always hopping here. And we got a great topic for everybody tonight, but we will get to that. So after me, I believe there's somebody below me that wants to talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be below you and walk in your shadow, Gene. Thank you. Hey, yeah, happy to be here. First thing I say on a Friday morning is, it's Georgia night, man. I look forward to this, even though I'm not a working stiff like some of the rest of you fellas out there, and have to, trudge through an entire week just to get to Friday. For me, it's 6 Saturdays and a Sunday every week. So, but I am happy to be here. I thank you. Folks in the Georgia Shooting Connection for the invitation to participate. Good to see all of our old friends out there on the side chat. I'm looking over here on my phone, and man, it's a goodly bunch out there already. So I'm again, thanks for inviting me in, and we hope you folks out there in the chat will enjoy the discussion tonight. It's going to be a good one. Okay, Mr. Mott.
Howdy, folks. Good to see everybody. I've been kind of in and out of the chats lately, but I'm here tonight and glad to be here. See everybody. Missed y'all. Side chat, I don't have it pulled up anywhere, so hello to all you guys. Peanut Gallery, you rock. Keep the conversation going. Ask some questions. Get it stirred up. So we'll pass it over to Mark with a C.
Had to unmute myself. Sorry. Hello, all. Oh, we had a beautiful day here yesterday, 72 degrees, a little bit colder today, but sunshine, and I am ready for spring. It has been a grind this last month or so at school. My classroom has no windows, so I see no sunshine. Been in that, seasonal, not depression or anything, but just I am glad to see the sun. So it's got me sparked back up. I'm back to doing some good leather work. I'm itching to do some reloading and some shooting. I haven't been to the range in weeks. So looking forward to it all. Looking forward to a nice evening sitting with my friends. And I'm going to stay awake tonight.
Well, glad you're here, Mark.
Me too.
Glad,
On to CW.
Glad you're all here. And hopefully I can make it through the chat tonight. Got a little different setup here. I'm able to get my feet up so I don't get so much swelling and pain. And I hope I can tolerate the 2 hours. So that's the plan. And I apologize to the side chat because I can't see you guys. So I apologize for that. Jamie, what's going on?
Well, we got a topic. Did you guys do anything reloading or shooting wise this week? Go to a gun store, anything? Go for it, Walter.
Well, those of you who are subscribers to my channel know that I just got a new firearm. I got me a 38 Super 1911 made by Kimber, and so we kind of started off in new short series. And this week I got some bullets casted out of a Seiko mold that is just looking really good. It's kind of a funky looking bullet, actually, but
It's
yeah. And I got some of those loaded up today, and loading video will be coming out here in a day or two. So we're going to go shoot that rascal tomorrow and see how these hand loads do. The first factory loads were just kind of, actually the factory loads were fine. The shooter was, So yeah, I'd been to the range and played with the new gun and got some casting and loading done. So it was a good week for Viejo.
He can't wipe that grin off his face.
You don't have to. It's a nice one. It's a real nice gun. If you haven't seen the video, guys, check it out. It's a nice one. It's a Commander
It
too.
makes me want to do the Arsenio Hall.
We got Hillbilly joining us. How you doing, Hillbilly?
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, man.
Did you do anything shooting or reloading? I saw a video today.
Yeah, I actually just today this afternoon released a video, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I actually attached a challenge to it, so if anybody wants to watch it and try that challenge out, I think it'd be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I got my theory about that. It'd be fun for you. You already mastered the challenge, and then you get to see all these video VRs and make fun of all of us floundering around trying
No.
to figure it out.
No.
I got the notification for it, but I have not watched it. Just been busy trying to keep up on everything else.
Oh,
But I will. I'll watch it. I'll try it. Whatever it is, I'll give it a shot. Literally.
So we got 46 folks out there sharing their Friday nights with us. Thank all you guys. And Rollis is at the reloading bench. So yeah, there you go. Anybody else do anything? I've been working on a rifle this week. Mark, what'd you do?
Well, first off, Gene, it's damn nice to see you back on your channel. Spectacular.
Yes, it is.
Good. I did have Monday off this week, and I got to do a little bit of casting I've been wanting to do. I had picked up a nice old antique Lee mold at a sale 3-4 weeks back, a little 32 wad cutter, and I ended up with about 150 really nice bullets. That's one of the first times I've gotten an old aluminum mold already seasoned, and that thing started casting nice bullets within the first 5 or 6 bullets. I was tickled. And I've put up a little bit. I did some holster work this week. I just finished up a project on a Chiappa Rhino, quite an interesting revolver for one of my friends at the local gun shop, one of the favorite places I go, and I can't wait to get it to him.
Looked really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I saw that video and left you a comment.
That's all. Thank you.
I think that's molded out as about as much as it's going to get. It's a square gun, and
And that's a heavy 8-9 weight leather. It's going to be good and solid for him for a good long time.
I think so. So you guys don't watch Mark. Go give him a sub if you can. There's Mr. Lever Guns 50. What's going on, buddy?
Hey,
Good
man.
to see you. Walk scoped 1907. There it is. James Pugh's working on 338 Win Mag. I'm working on a rifle for a friend of mine who said it was a Marlin 4570. I got it in here and started working on it, and it is a Rossi Rio Grande 4570, which is pretty much identical. CW and I were talking about it before we went live. I showed him one difference that I liked, but of course I would show you, but we'd have the test pattern up on YouTube. Bing. Y'all remember the test pattern?
Yep.
What'd you do, Mark?
Got a few projects, a couple overdue projects, and then I took on another one last week. Getting things done. ordered a couple scopes. We talked about scopes in a chat the other night. You guys did, and ordered me a Monstrum, and ordered me just a off-brand for the Mosin 9130. We'll see how that goes. But just getting things done, starting to get caught up. It's getting a little warmer, so we can get out there and do some more things in the shop. So
that is awesome, Lever Guns. And okay, James says his ain't. Anyway, Lever Guns put a short stroke kit in a 73. Mark, did you get the scout mount for your Mosin?
yeah,
So it's got to be a pistol or a scout type scope.
yep. Got a long eye relief scope for it, and we'll see what she does.
I kind of want to do that with my M39 and my K98. That would be pretty good.
They make a neat little reproduction Russian factory looking scope for the Mosin. It's decent priced. I may do that if this gun's worth drilling and tapping into on the side there, but we'll see what it does with a scope on it, see if it's accurate, and then we'll make it a Bubba sniper, because it ain't gonna be original.
Right. So we got Screw Tube out there, and we'll go through the side chat in
Hey,
a few
Timmy.
minutes. Got Papa's Place out there. There's Andy 79Z28 Big Owls out there. Getting crowded up in here. Well, Mark, since you started talking about scopes, and one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, if any of y'all read the description, I know Fuzz did. I want to talk about value. Like, is everything better that costs more? And I think it depends on what you're talking about. For example, let me see if I can get my duckies in a row here. Is that hillbilly coming back in here? Yeah, it is. There's the hillbilly back.
Sorry about that. I had to leave for just a second.
That's all right, man. All right, for example, y'all recognize these with the gold rings in the front. Y'all know the brand name. This is a 2x7. It is a Barry X 2C. Barry X VARI-X Roman numeral 2. And it's a 2x7. Pretty small objective. And then I've got this one, which looks pretty much the same. But can y'all see that brand name? Focus.
What's that say?
Is
Bushnell?
this,
Yeah.
I thought it said Walmart.
Stirring it up.
Kind of, sort of, semi. Anyway, the quality of these two scopes, just because they look pretty much
Yeah.
similar, there's in my opinion, there's no comparing the quality. This Bushnell, this is a banner. This when these first came out, they were $100. Now you can buy them for $59 all day, every day. I bought one when they just came out. I sent it back to the factory twice. The third one also failed. At that point, I got mad and poured gas on it and set it on fire.
You didn't shoot it?
No, watching it burn and the smell was so much more.
That's
But,
called a lengthy satisfaction.
Right.
not an instantaneous.
Got every dollar out of that one.
Yeah, when you oh, and it cost me more than $100. Remember, I paid to ship the thing back 3 times.
Oh no!
Twice. I didn't send it back the third time.
I was sending back the third time in a pile of ashes.
Right. There's the,
Yeah.
anyway, this is a Leopold. The other one's a Bushnell, and I understand Bushnell makes some scopes that are every bit as quality as some of the Leopolds, but I guess the premise of the topic tonight, and we'll get to all different aspects of what we're talking about, uh, is the more expensive an item is it really that much better? And I think to a certain aspect, yeah, you get what you pay for. I agree with that, and I won't argue with that. But I don't necessarily think because you pay um, $4,000 for one thing and $2,000 for another, and I wouldn't mind doing that. I just want to see the quality difference. Go ahead, Hot Pot.
What? I have nothing to say. I unmuted. Here, I'm gonna go with that. Let's see. I've bought some very high end products, and I bought low end products, and I bought middle of the road products. I've been disappointed with all 3 categories. So, all manufacturers, all companies have duds. Some they continue to make, and even the high end companies continue to make duds and charge the premium price for them, even though they're going to be returned over and over and over because of failures. I have one scope on my competition AR. I would not take off and trade for anything else. Nothing. And that's a Monstrum 3 to 8 power, because that scope has been used in the rain, the mud, the snow, banged, dropped into barrels, pushed off of barriers, and it holds 0. The glass is clear. It's got a great red and green illumination, which helps in different backdrops, different scenarios for what I do. I wouldn't take it off for anything else. I don't care what you would offer me for that Monstrum scope. I won't take it. It's a permanent part of that rifle. And I think I caught it on sale. I gave under $100 for it on sale, on a flash sale they had, and bought it just off the whim, and I'm glad I did.
Man, y'all are blowing up that side chat over there. I can't keep up. So you guys in the panel, y'all got to help me find any questions that they may have. And Gene, I'll say I have to agree with that. Most of the things that I buy are kind of middle of the road. I don't ever want to buy the bottom of the barrel kind of thing, but at the same time, I don't want to break the bank. Yeah, there you go.
I have bought overpriced, or I've bought overpriced scopes, and I've bought bargain scopes, and I think most of the people on this panel, I know 3, maybe 4 of them have shot my Weatherby 308. It's a fixed 10 power, crystal clear glass, and at 1,000 yards, it's point and click. You dial up what you need. The turrets are very accurate. I bought, and it's a SWFA, and I think I paid $290 for it when I bought it. On my 300 Blackout, I've got a red and green illuminated reticle. What is it? what is it, Jamie? CZ Life Steez.
CV Life.
TV
Yeah.
life.
It seems to be a good scope. I've thrown my Weatherby in the mud, beat it up in the back of a truck, all that stuff. It holds zero very good. That the CV Life holds zero pretty good. Of course, it's only a short range rifle anyway. It's a 8-inch barrel. I've got I've owned several Vortexes, and I've had to send one of them back, like Jamie was saying, twice. Every time that you'd pull the trigger, the reticle would rotate inside the scope. And I actually was at the local gun store when the Vortex rep was there, and he goes, "It shouldn't do that." I said, "That's why I'm here." And so me and him talked, and I ended up walking out with a brand new one and mounted it up and all that. But yeah, I've had. I'll put it to you like this: I've shot through $4,000 scopes, and I've shot through $200 scopes. And what I use them for, and I use them through running through the woods, running and gunning, that kind of stuff. They get banged up. I can't really see a difference. I love that SWFA Super Sniper. That's what I used in the Army. I think it was a different brand at that point, but it's the same scope. And that 200 scope, I'll go to war with it. Carry on.
Walter, you got?
Yeah, I was going to say a few minutes back, Papa's Place made a comment, and he was talking about that it depends on the application that within which we're looking at, and I agree. If you're just looking at your stock Ruger 1022 plinker gun, there's not a whole lot of point for most of us in spending a lot of money on an optic. You might do just as well with an inexpensive red dot as you would with a $2,000 piece of glassware that goes up there. But why would you even think about doing that compared to a competitor who's out there and stands the chance of winning a little bit more money every time he goes out, by making a relatively higher expenditure for his optic? Then maybe a little bit gained is worth a lot more money to that guy. So I think that when we start considering, is it worth it to go buy an expensive scope or red dot or whatever, you got to ask yourself, what am I going to do with it? You got to backwards map it a little bit. Say, hey, here's what I'm going to do. Now, what's the best bang for the buck that I can get that's going to do this job and not break my wallet in half? So I think our application that we're going to use this thing for has got to be part of the consideration. And in some cases, a little bit more quality might be worth a lot more expenditure. So think about how you're going to use it. That's my 2 cents worth.
Okay, on that, Walter, back when I raced motorcycles, I raced pro super bikes. And on the average, it would cost you $100 per 1 horsepower. Now, you could spend $100 per horsepower and have just a basic increase. Or you could spend $200 to $300 per horsepower and have that precision application of horsepower. Cam timing, valve lashing, all the little bitty things. So yeah, you're right. If someone's shooting like PRC with 22, you're going to put a way nice scope on there because that little bit gives you so much in the end product.
Mock?
Yeah, it's good to see some less expensive scopes coming out doing the job. And like others have said, it's purpose driven. Don't get Dave all fired up. It's all about fundamentals, no matter how much you spend. But at the same time, you do need a good quality piece of glass. It's just good to see some lower end stuff coming out for the budget shooters, and to get the job done. I'll agree with I can't remember in Chris's chat the guy talking about illuminated reticles. I believe our eyes focus and adjust more than we think they do for our night vision, and I think those illuminated scopes do ruin a little bit of that night vision that we probably don't need, And if we're transitioning from the scope to whatever else we're looking at or using, or then our eyes got to adjust again. So I don't think it's fair to your eye to use illuminated reticle unless you're just having fun and doing it for a long period of time. But yeah, it's good to see the Monstrums coming out. I've got an Athlon Argos, and while it's clear, it's great. I was fortunate enough to win it on one of Taco's giveaways, and it's a great scope. It's mil dot. It forced me to learn mil dot a little better, and I do enjoy that. It's easier to me now than others, and I tell you, that scope is really picky with eye relief. You've got to be dead on with your face and your cheek weld to eliminate that dark circle. And it's quite annoying, actually. But I'm getting used to it. I put a pad on my 30-06. It's got a Boyd stock on it with the cheek riser, like a Monte Carlo style cheek riser. But it didn't do enough. So once you get things adjusted and figure it out, like I said, purpose driven. It's just, for some reason, that Athlon Argos is real picky with eye relief. But it's good because it gives you consistency once you get it lined up. So
I think that's one of the things we're paying for is the eye box. I think probably a zero stop is important on a long range scope. I think the eye box that is part of what you're paying for, how easy it is to get a full circle of light. And I think no matter what scope you buy, I don't care if you pay $5,000 for a piece of glass, put it on the best rifle out there. If you've not done a good job mounting that scope, it's junk. Your rings are probably your most important part of the puzzle. That and some blue Loctite.
100% on that.
I don't think any truer words have ever been spoken, sir.
I don't know. For me personally, I pull that gun up and, I don't have a good, eye relief vision through it. It's not very helpful for me. I still have, on like my Dare rifle, I have just a one I bought at Walmart, Bushnell, and it's still on there today, and it's never done me wrong. I do like an over and under on that on my rings, and the reason is because around here we 30-30 is a lot of guns being used because we don't have a lot of long range shooting in these hills. And I'll never forget, I had one of the most nicest bucks who got spooked and ran up on me. I pulled that rifle up and all I seen was brown. I couldn't tell what part of the deer I was even, sighted in at. And I went and got some different rings. So I had an over and under on the sights, and it's been like that for years and still great. I mean, I got really nice Simmons on one of my other rifles, but I mean, I think when I bought that Bushnell at Walmart, I want to say it was like $60 back in the day, and this still works.
Yeah, you spend more money on the rings than you do on the scope.
Yeah.
Weaver makes a wonderful set of rings, and I used to have them on my 35 Remington Marlin. Yes, it's a Marlin, old school Marlin. And I've shot more deer with the iron sights than I have with the Weaver scope that I had mounted in the Weaver rings sitting on top. But yeah, it is important. You got to know what you're using the firearm for, what range you're going to be shooting, and like I say, here in Georgia, we're looking for 150 yard shot max, and some people out here will use a seven Remington Magnum to make that 100-yard shot. I'm totally happy doing it with a 35, a 30-30, or in some cases a 22, depending on what I got on me. But your rings are very important because you can have a $5,000 piece of glass sitting on $2 rings and it won't hold zero.
I agree, man.
100% on that.
Jump in there, CW. What you got?
I'm just waiting. Yeah, there's a lot of importance in the quality of your mounts. That's a place that you don't want to skimp. A lot of these a few years ago we went from Weavers to Picatinny, and they do somewhat crossover, but they're not 100% a crossover. The gap on them is different. The Weavers are not set up for that repeated for all the way down a rail, and the width of the slots is different. So if you mount your scope and don't mount it properly with a Weaver style or a pick style in a Weaver or a Weaver style in a pick, number one, a Weaver style may not fit in the pick, but the pick is going to fit the other way, but you're going to have a lot of slop, and it may or may not be a problem depending on your caliber, your application, and how you mount it. I made a switch over not that long ago, maybe 10 years ago, to dual dovetail rings on all my hunting rifles or important accuracy rifles, and it made such a big difference in the repeatability and reliability of the mounting that it wasn't funny. I'd really love to do another video on it. I have one on the old channel, but I'm afraid with the current atmosphere that I shouldn't do it. But there's proper way to mount scopes, and I see a lot of people not doing it, and it's not really a big deal until you realize it's a big deal, but it's not really a big deal on how you do it. I mean, it's not hard, is what I'm trying to say. But doing it wrong, it really can make a huge difference. And you can say a lot about the cheaper scopes. You know, I'm a Leopold fan, but I do have a lot of cheaper scopes, and one way to look at things and to wrap your head around it is like the scope Jamie brought up there, the Leopold Vari X2. Now that's an older scope. That's probably a 70s, maybe even a little older scope. And if that was a good quality for you, and that was something that you scrimped and saved, and that was the best scope that you could think you could buy back then, you can get that quality of a scope for probably $100 today. That's not kicking Leopold. That's just the way things were and the way things are. You can get a really good quality scope, and what you're skimping on is some of the materials. And as long as you're not swapping that scope to a dozen different guns and cranking on the turrets to try and get your elevations and try and track things with your elevation knobs, and that those scopes just aren't made for the cheaper ones, just aren't made for that. And that's where they're going to fail on you. And you'll start seeing them not repeating and not coming back and not being able to sight them in. But if you buy that cheaper scope and you put it on the rifle, sight it in, and it stays there, and it's in a good mount, you're going to be fine with it. Where things start to fail is when you start getting in the really big variables, or you start getting all kinds of stuff on a cheaper scope that just doesn't hold up, like the big knob adjustment turrets. They're not going to hold up on a cheaper scope. That's made for a better quality scope. They just can't. They're just not built for it. They may track out of the box. They may track the first couple times you do it, but they're going to fail, and that's where you want to spend the money if you have the application for that. But by and large, most people can do fine with a $100 scope today. You spend $150 on a scope today, it's going to be fine for the vast majority of the shooters out there, what they're going to do with it. If you're needing to shoot past 300-400 yards reliably and consistently, spend a little money on your optics. Like I think it was Tommy Boy said, you can't hit what you can't see. You need good optics to shoot longer ranges. You need good optics to shoot precision. You don't need good optics to go deer hunting, 100 yards, and to go plink tin cans and go shoot in a sand pit with your buddies. You can get bragging rights with a fancy scope, but it ain't going to do you any better. You're not going to utilize what that scope has to offer, and you don't really need to spend that money. But spend your money on the good mounts, good mounts and good rings.
The first thing you're paying for is the mounts that you place on the rifle. The second thing that you're paying for are the turrets that are on the optic that you choose. I don't care if it's a $60 scope or a $5,000 scope. If the turrets aren't accurate where you can dial it in to whatever you want to do, you want to just set it at 100 yards, that's fine. But if it needs to come up 1 MOA and you dial 1 MOA and it comes up 17 feet, that scope's junk. You need to pay attention on the accuracy of the turrets and the quality of your ability to see through it. If the glass is junk, then take it off and use iron sights. I don't know what to tell you, but
you want repeatable tracking,
exactly.
For lack of better terms, you want repeatable tracking when you're out that far.
Guys,
I got to run, get the granddaughter. I'll be back as soon as I can. Hopefully it'll be before it ends, but if not, we'll catch you.
When I first bought,
Thanks,
Drive
Mark.
safe, Mark.
See you, Mark.
see you, Mark. See you in a bit. When I first bought that Super Sniper scope, I sat there around the campfire and I dialed it all the way up, dialed it all the way down, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, set everything back at 0. I'd already zeroed the scope at 100 yards. And I went all the way up and all the way down, all the way over and all the way over and all the way back to 0. And the next morning, took that rifle and put it right through the bullseye at 100 yards. So I know for a fact those turrets are accurate, and it's not an expensive scope. But it's some people can see through it. Like I say, it's just a fixed 10 power scope, but it's good enough for me at 1,000 yards. So
that's over the threshold into a better scope, though. That's not a $69 CV Life or Tasco or Simmons at Walmart. It is a better quality scope.
Yeah, it's not stupid expensive.
Yeah, it's not a Night Force, but it's.
I think it was a $300 scope.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm extremely familiar with it, and it's been tried and true for years. So
good. MacMan had a comment out there. When you spend all that money on your rifle and your reloading equipment and your ammo, why would you buy a cheap scope? It's like buying a Ferrari and then putting a retread tires on it. Well, I've got a $3,000 Staccato P. Super nice pistol. I bought a Trigicon and put on it. An SRO, $600 optic. Junk. Hated it.
Me too.
I bought a Swamp Fox Justice on sale for about $2.25. Love it. It's clear. The dot's crisp. It holds 0. The Trijicon SRO for $600. The dot was fuzzy. I didn't like the glass.
Same
and,
here.
and I couldn't return it fast enough. I didn't even do a video on it. I didn't have it long enough to do a video because it stunk. But my Swamp Fox is great. And I got slack in my videos on that. Buy a $3,000 gun and put the cheapest optic you could find on it. No, it was not the cheapest optic I could find. I could have went to Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon has
Got a pinky. The glass would have flew out of it on the first shot. But so sometimes not spending that much is worth a lot.
Yeah, that video I just shot literally had a $38 Amazon optic on it. Just because I wanted to see how it would do. It didn't have a name. I don't even know what name it was. But, I mean, I just don't. You're not supposed to put retreads on your Lamborghini? This is the first I'm hearing about this.
You're not supposed to put a lift kit on it either, hillbilly.
I mean,
I don't have a Lamborghini, so I don't know what you're supposed to put on.
My Lamborghini's gone through the creek with me
you betcha.
all day.
I'm spending a little bit of time learning about optics. I grew up and I spent the many years just nothing but irons. I think even growing up, the only scope I really ever shot much was out of Dad's old 308 pump 760. That's an old Redfield with a T-post reticle in it.
Love those.
I'm still just
What's
learning.
on my
I've never
30
spent a lot of big
06?
money on scopes. I've always bought cheap stuff, and when it turned bad, I just threw it away. And most of that was on rim fires. I do have one. I think it's a Simmons on my NEF Break 308, and that has always been good because it's only really been used for hunting. Hasn't been banged around much. But the son and I are exploring some things, and I'm learning a lot. And in the last couple of years, 5-7 years, with my eyesight failing as I'm getting older, optics have become much more important. So I'm trying to get the best bang for my buck and trying to buy good things and, watching videos and seeing reviews. And if something looks like it's decent, I'll take a chance on it, spend $100. But this is all kind of learning curve for me yet.
And that's what's really nice is because you got, a lot of great channels that do, a lot of people on this panel and on the side chat even that do great reviews for stuff. So it really helps. I mean, it keeps you from going out there and making that mistake of, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have bought this, So that's what's so wonderful about this gun community and stuff. I agree with you. Eyesight, I mean, I'm 52 or 53, and I had no need for an optic up to a few years ago, unless I was, basically deer hunting or something, a long range scope. But now it's just so much easier. I mean, it makes a lot of difference. And so
There's a comment out there that red dots and rifle scopes are like grits to oatmeal. No,
I've seen that.
no, they're not. Not nowadays. You're looking at
That
a
means
quality
breakfast?
optic. A red dot has to have a clear dot, clear glass, parallax free, where a rifle scope needs to have a good reticle, good glass, good adjustments. Well, the red dots have to have good adjustments too. Without a one MOA click on a red dot, it's worthless if you cannot feel it and hold that click. Like Kyle was saying, it's all about the quality of the control. So I personally put them in the same category for quality.
as
know,
far
good
as
and bad.
red dots go, I'm not a huge red dot person on pistols, like you are, Gene. But on rifles, one of the best ones that I've found, it's a little clunky, it's a little bulky, but it's the Aim Point Pro Patrol Rifle Optic. Uh, I've had the same one for 10 years, and it's still got the same batteries that it came from the store with. And I can go to it right now, and I can dial anything I want to into it, and that's wherever that red dot is shining. And you can adjust it. It's night vision compatible, everything, but it's not cheap. I mean, it's a $500 red dot, but it'll do anything you want and anything you tell it to do, and that's important to me.
Yes, yes.
You impressed me when you said you ain't had to change a battery in it.
Oh,
I get
no,
so stinking tired of that and change batteries. I mean,
Oh, some of the
it's
modern
got
optics,
factory batteries in it.
My
I've had it
goodness.
about 10 years.
crazy, insane hours they'll run on a battery. Some of the new stuff, it's just insane. It's you change it. People change it just because this is run too long. It's going to fail. I'm going to put a new battery in it. And it's just crazy the hours they can run, especially the shake awake stuff.
yeah.
The better quality shake awake stuff. You look at it. It's got to be a misprint. You know, it's crazy number of hours they'll run.
I'm like GGW when it comes to red dots. I got astigmatism in my right eye, my dominant eye, and it's yeah, they turn out looking
Starburst or
yeah,
multiple dots.
I,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Like
the
the
biggest
Aim Point Pro, you can dial that dot down to where a normal person can't even see it. But if you have astigmatism, you can see it, and
Mhm.
it's very fine at 250 yards. But
Yep.
most normal people can't even see that.
Yeah, I have astigmatism as well, and there's definitely a big difference in red dots. Red dots are one of those optics that there's so many cheaper optics out there. There's so many really, really, really poor quality optics out there that a lot of us get suckered into them, and you don't even realize. You know, you think it's I spent $80 on this, I spent $100 on this, and it's still junk. But it just hasn't come. The glass hasn't come the same way. The parallax, like the Gene was mentioned, it's super important. It's more important than a pistol, but it's important in a rifle as well. But good quality glass, a good quality emitter. I shoot a lot of red dots on pistols. I have with my bullseye for 30 years, and I'm shooting aim points, and I do not get a flare. I do not get a burst. When some of the other dots will do it. I found ultra fires are pretty good, and ultra dots are pretty good, and there's a bunch now that are pretty good. I did a video a while ago on a Leopold red dot. It's a rifle red dot, designed for ARs platforms, modern surface rifle platforms, and that has such a fine dot, like Kyle is talking about. That's on a rifle that I would not hesitate shooting 200 and 300 yards with a red dot, and it'll make consistent hits and shoots, and the glass is clear. It is like a $400 red dot, $350 red dot, but it's a Leopold $300 red dot that is a good quality, excellent product, and it's head and shoulders above. It's phenomenal. And there's a threshold, and it's not always just like a Trijicon that costs you, like Gene was saying, $600, $900, $800. It's just crazy money, and they still you'll still have some flare in the dots for people with astigmatism. I've got a I forget the number it is, but it's one of the early ones that they come out with. I keep wanting to say SRO, but that's the one I bought that I didn't like, same as Gene. And I literally had that one for like a week, and I did do a video on it on the old channel, and it was awful. It was awful. It wasn't clear. I didn't like the adjustments on it. It looked cool. It looked nice, but it was awful for me. But the other one I have is really good, and that was one I got from a Trijicon that failed. that I sent back to the factory, and they said, well, we're not building this one anymore. We'll send you any one of these 3 as a replacement. So I picked one and I got it. And it's got a big dot on it. I use it on my Glock 35 for competition, and it's like a 6 or an 8 minute dot, and it's great for that. But for something like what Kyle was talking about, long range, you need to have a good quality, crisp, parallax free, crisp, tiny dot to be able to shoot long range, and that's not available in a lot of the cheaper dots. But to their support, their benefit, they don't need it on a plinking gun. Something to shooting in the sand pit or just popping tin cans or shooting steel plates at 30 feet. You can get away with that because it's not going to make that big a difference, and it's going to serve the purpose, and it's going to be great for you. Also, the adjustments, just like on the scopes, that's where they fail. But where do you ever track or try and adjust or bullet drop and everything with a red dot? You don't. You set it and you forget it, and that's why they last, because that's their failing. And you just put it on a gun, you mount it, you set it, and you forget it, and you shoot it. It's able to hold 0, but it may not be able to be mounted to 6 different guns and change because it'll fail. You try and do a box test with it, and it's going to fail. It may not even pass the box test. But you just don't do that with red dots. So that's where they get away with the cheaper, and they still work, and they still are viable.
I want to comment on Jamie's comment about being right eye dominant and having stigmatism in your right eye. With a red dot, you do not look at it as you do iron sights. You look at a red dot with both eyes open, looking at it.
Through it.
You never try to close an eye and focus in on a red dot.
That's only if you're right eye dominant. I'm left eye dominant. It don't work.
Well, you have to have both eyes open to look at a red dot.
Both eyes open, I guarantee it won't work if you're left eye dominant. I really struggle with this.
Are you shooting right-handed, left eye dominant?
I shoot right-handed, left-hand dominant.
That does make
it great for playing golf, but it sucks for shooting a rifle, a gun.
Yeah.
And that's what really people don't talk about is your eye dominance. And I found out it makes a lot of difference. I mean, it really does.
Go, Billy. Can I make a comment here? Okay,
Yeah.
so if you're right-handed and you shoot right-handed and you're left eye dominant, I'll tell you an exercise to go through that will, possibly help you out as long as you practice doing this. Just dedicate a pair of glasses to it, and what you want to do is you want to put some cellophane tape across the lens of your left lens on your glasses, and then that will cause your right eye to focus, because your other eye is going to not really see clearly. It's going to go ahead and it's going to go to the one that is clear, and that's your right eye. And after a while, you'll be able to overcome that problem with the crossover thing. Yeah. And that's something I had to do because I also am right-handed, but I'm left eye dominant, and I had to overcome that with an ocular.
Yeah. Well, us hillbillies got something a little bit easier. We just close our left eye.
Well, that's okay.
Same as covering it up.
I get into a big, huge thing, I mean, I'm accused of always getting into this big, huge thing about accuracy, but when you close your eye, you're straining your face, and you're straining your muscles in your eye and your eyelid and all that other stuff.
Create tremors. Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. And so you're not going to make the best shot like that, and you got to keep both eyes open. Keep both eyes open, and you'll make better shots, even with an optic. And you should always focus on your reticle. Don't look through the reticle at your target. Focus on the reticle, because that's where the bullet's going to go. It's not what you're aiming at, it's what you're aiming with.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, shooting long range, you want to keep both eyes open so you have a clear field of vision. But you got to train your brain to look through to focus on the eye that's looking through the optic or down the sights or something like that. I'm not talking about 50 yards or 100 yards or something like that. I'm talking about long range shooting. Keep both eyes open. You can see what's going on, and you get a better track on the target, so to speak.
Kyle M. Gabriel's asking you what SWFA. He's using the 10X Super Sniper, fixed power.
Yeah, it's a 10X SWFA Super Sniper. Yep.
Y'all can say what you want. Y'all can tell me all the things to do to correct it. I have to close my left eye. I just do. And that being said, we are at 9:02 and we haven't been through the side chat yet. Y'all type in 3x9 and we'll say, hey, 3x9. Actually, the correct thing would be 3-9 by X. I'm assuming all you guys know. Walter's the first one on the hammer right there. In the side chat and on the panel. Georgia Shooting Connection. I'm assuming that's Kyle.
Yeah, not me. I got no keyboard.
Reloading from the hot pot. Tactical FUD. 6-shooter Texan. Hey, buddy. MacMan 039 reloading. I think I just figured out where his. Anyway. Mark Thomas, Tommy Boy, Mike Hester, Edward Petty, M. Gabriel, Kyle, Papa's Place, Hillbilly Up, James Pugh, James Pollard, 67 Rebel SST AMC, Georgia Fishing and Trapping. What's up, Trapper? Mr. Walks Fletcher, Andre D'Angelo, Pony _47, G23, Hipparchus, Drew Bradley, Reloader 762, MCK Mock, Tim S, Tommy Boy, DSCZ 52, what's happening, my brother? Hobbies Hobo, Mike Hester, Dwayne 7834, Drew Bradley.
And I'm going to say this, Jamie. If we get together and do any training at all for any events, I'll get you to open both eyes because you do not need to close your left eye.
I know.
I had to learn it too. I grew up shooting iron sights, and I had iron sights until just a few years ago when I started venturing into red dots. And it took a minute, but man, is it so much easier this way.
So we got a couple of more 3x9s. Rollis Carvelis, GGW Outdoors, and Thorzax has joined the panel. We can start now. Dave's here.
Hello, Dave.
Not really, G. What's to talk about 224 Valkyrie? It tears up brass. You know. See, that's part of what I wanted to do this topic about. I think all of us out there, we want to do the best we can, and I think what Dave preaches on here about get your accuracy skills down first and foremost, and then go get the best stuff that you can afford. Go buy the best that you can afford. Go out, use it, get proficient with it, and then there you go. I think what we get, how can I say this politely and diplomatically? How about let's not try? We've got an awful lot of gun snobs in our community. Would y'all agree with that? I mean, look at this panel. There's some in here. Gene is not. I mean, the man bought a High Point, and Hillbilly Up bought a High Point. But
I went by a High Point and came home with a Weatherby.
okay,
That's a clear sign of anti-snobbishness.
but I like my Smith and Wesson revolvers. I do.
Oh
I
man.
want the best scope I can get. I'm uh, I'm really liking the Ruger single actions, but yeah, I think we need to be more loving sometimes and think about some of the things we say before it comes out of our mouth about as it relates to what stuff costs. And I will ask Big Al, when in the wide world of sports is our primer prices going to go down? I mean, I saw some yesterday, and they're still on the shelf. They were $100 for a, a brick of 100, but I can't make myself do that. But people buy High Point.
Well, I'll tell you what, my FN 45 tactical is no more accurate than my High Point JHP 45.
There's High Boy.
They both hit the target.
Look, man, I don't want to be shot with a Jennings 22.
I don't want to be shot with a BB gun. What are you talking
Right.
about?
I mean, I don't.
I used to have a Jennings 9. There's a reason I got rid of it.
I
You know,
have
we
a
can
Jennings
talk a lot
22.
about. We can talk a lot about. You know, when Jamie mentioned that some of us are snobs, and in some departments I am too. Matter of fact, maybe in most departments I am. But you know, sometimes, you know, you talk about value and cost versus the benefit of return that you get, and it's not always about that at all. Sometimes it's, you know, Jamie talked about your Smith and Wesson, and I love those revolvers too. Sometimes it just comes down to I want it. Doesn't have a whole lot to do with how much good's it going to do me. You know, not always anyway.
Or
Sometimes I
need.
just want it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I think another thing too, you know, some people are really sold about the social circle that they're running around with at the range, and they end up buying things they don't really understand, and you know, because it looks cool, and you know, some of those products are designed just because of that. You know, I mean, they don't really have that much benefit to them. They just look cool, and so you know, the whole thing about being a snob. Yeah, sometimes I come across being a snob. One thing I didn't want to say about scopes, though, if this was 20 years ago, I'd probably, you know, tell you, you know, I mean, there's a certain level of quality that's within the $350 to $400 range where, you know, you're good. I mean, Leopold and Burris and those scopes, you know, they're made to a certain level of quality, and they were very good back in those days. But it's like what CW said now is that we have competitive manufacturing. We have better manufacturing nowadays, and you know, you can get that same level of quality in a $150 scope or a $100 scope that's out there today. So, you know, it's a mixed bag, man. I'm not a scope guy anyway, but there is a certain level of quality you should pay for, you know, and sometimes it doesn't always boil down to the I don't know how quite how to say this. Having a digitally enhanced target, okay, having real super clear glass and everything. If you're, I mean, maybe I need to shut up. I just need to shut up because now I'm going to go into this whole thing about, you know, marksmanship. But it's not going to do you any good if your marksmanship skills aren't there. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's my 2 cents. You know, most of those scopes you got out nowadays are good quality, and it's CW's right. You're getting good advice from him.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to point out too is we're getting better quality glass at a more reasonable price now than 15, 20 years ago, I think. Gene, you
One
got
of-
something?
I wouldn't agree with Dave. Fundamentals are everything. Everything.
Yeah, because otherwise, what are we doing here? I mean, you can go out and spend all this money on stuff, but if you don't practice to improve your marksmanship skills, then all of this is for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see guys with $10,000 rifle and scope setups go out, and they can't hit anything at 300 yards.
Yeah, a
And you
whole
get the
room
next
full of
guy that's got the
thousands and thousands of dollars.
got the $500 setup that's shooting 1,000 yards because he has fundamentals. He knows his trigger. He knows his scope.
Carlos Hathcock, he took shots at 1,600 yards with a 6-power, 6-power Redfield scope on top of a Winchester Model 70 that was accurized by the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
he also come on now, he also possessed natural talent, and so that's one thing you can't buy. And
no.
so the rest of us have to work for it. But natural talent is something that some of the people just have, and some of the way their brain is set up or whatever, and the way their eyeballs work with their fingers, and they can just do it. I don't, and the rest of us have to work at it. That's it. So, but that's what makes it fun. Kind of the work.
Well, the same thing spills over into our reloading stuff too. I mean, and I want to ask y'all to be honest with yourselves. You're talking to a buddy, maybe at the range, maybe at your shooting club, maybe at an event, or maybe just sitting around at the break room at work or at lunch. Somebody's told you about a gun or a scope or some ammo or something they bought or found on sale, and in your heart of hearts, without saying anything, you go, "Oof," and you try not to let that look come out of your face. You know what I'm talking about. You're like, man, that's trash. Why'd you waste money on that? And I think we've all been there, and I think we've all been on both ends of that. I think maybe I'm a little self conscious, but I think sometimes when I talk about my long range setup, I think a lot of the upper people would. Um, the upper tier guys, that's shooting those big expensive rifles, I think they'd frown severely on my Ruger American 6.5 Creedmoor with an Arkin optic sitting on top of it.
The way I look at that, Jamie, is if it works for you, then it works. It doesn't have to work for me. It doesn't have to work for Dave. It doesn't have to work for Brian. It doesn't have to work for Gene. It doesn't have to work for anybody as long as it works for you.
It's a smile on your face and does what you want it to do. It's
That's
fine.
it.
100%.
Absolutely. That's what it all boils down to. Does it work for you?
I think that's what we need to be focusing on, and Drew Bradley's got it right too. I grew up, we didn't have nothing, so yeah.
Is there anything else out there, any other subject matter that you would go either low, medium, or high end with outside of scopes in the gun community part?
Dies.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Walter. You took the words right out of my mouth, dude. Right out of my mouth. I'm going to tell you what. Lee Precision dies. I've seen guys walk away with gold medals with ammunition that they reloaded on their Lee Progressive 1000.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen guys just, Lee Progressive 1000 had Lee dies on it, had the little, what is it, disc powder measure, and they're at 2700s pulling down the big scores. It's it's really amazing that Lee dies are that good, but they really are. They're well made. I would suggest anybody, if you're going to buy a set of reloading dies and they're your first dies, I mean, there's nothing wrong, even if they're not your first dies. I mean, there's nothing wrong with buying Lee. They are definitely good dies. But pistol dies, they're great. Rifle dies, you might want to get some Reddings, RCBS, some a little better suited for that. But even the Lee rifle dies, I haven't been really disappointed with them. But there are better dies out there to buy in the way of rifle, I believe. That's just me.
I would agree.
Anybody else?
Yeah, there's some Lee dies that I like and some that I don't like. And remember, guys, I'm talking from a recreational handgun shooter. Okay, I don't shoot much in the way of long guns or shotguns. And to me, a sizing die is pretty much a sizing die. If you want to go a steel die, so you get a little bit more sizing down the side of your case wall than you would with a carbide die. Good, pick your choose there. You want a steel die, you want a carbide ring die. But no matter who you go buy a sizing die from, they pretty much are going to all work for you. The bullet seating die, to me, with cast bullets, I want that seating stem to match my bullet pretty closely so I don't booger it all up when I'm seating it. And sometimes, an RCBS cedar die with a semi-wide cutter stem in it will do better than a Lee die that's got a round nose stem in it for, some caliber, something like that. But you might not even know that till you try it and you go, hey, this cedar sucks. I'm going to go back to my Lee. And, a Lee die can size to the correct overall cartridge length just as well as any other die, provided that your seating stem matches the bullet and you don't get it, you don't get your knee plat rounded off or something or shaved or something like that. Then there's, crimp dies are what they are. That I think there's better crimp dies for some applications than the Lee factory crimp die. The Lee factory crimp dies for me work really well on a plated or jacketed bullet. They don't work quite as well as some of the other crimp dies do for me with cast bullets, but that's part of it's just personal preference. But I can't agree more that for capital layout, it's pretty doggone hard to beat a set of Lee dies if you're going to load 9mm 38 special. Those kinds of pistol calibers. A good place to start at least. Then you find one of them in your set you don't like. All those other guys, they sell their dies individually too. You can go buy a different cedar or something if you want to, or you can have Lee build you they'll make you a custom seating stem for their seating die. I had them do that for one. I got one bullet that I shoot tons and tons and tons of. And I won't say what caliber it is because CW shoot me from where he's sitting over there. But the mold is the Lyman 356402, and the Lee seating stem didn't quite work. So I sent Lee a couple of bullets. They made a seating stem fit to that powder coated bullet and sent it back to me, and it fits perfect. And so guess what? That Lee seating die is now my go-to. Okay, where it didn't quite work before, but now it's perfect. So, yeah, you can mix and match on the dies. Do whatever you want. If you want to go spend, $200 on a set of Redding dies, go for it. They're quality machining. They're nice. The Lee dies are aluminum and they're inexpensive, and it's a good place to start. And you may well end up just staying there with your Lee dies. But yeah, dies you can go, gold or aluminum.
I've been at this reloading thing for quite a while, as long as many other guys on here, and probably a lot longer than a lot of the other ones. But I've got probably pushing 75 sets of dies, and I can honestly tell you that the only dies that have ever failed on me were Lee. and it's happened a couple, 3 times. I've had titanium, or not titanium, carbide inserts crack and fall out. I've had the die strip, the thread strip, pop out the top of the aluminums, and part of that stripping out the tops was my own fault for not getting it tight before I started. But I've said it from the beginning. I'm not a Lee hater. I think they've got a lot of great designs and a lot of great products that just fail them because of poor materials they're building them with. And if they would just, of course, if they did that, the prices would come up. But I think overall they would make a better product if they just had better materials and didn't use a lot of the pot metals and aluminums and stuff that they use. But
well, Lee is a price point company.
Yeah, they're definitely a entry level price point, and that's what they sell to. And
you know what?
They're a good serviceable product.
Yeah, and it gets a lot of people reloading, and I'm all for it. I mean, I can't say anything wrong with Lee. And you're right. I raised the RAM too much. I used the wrong shell holder and didn't adjust the die on I think it was a 38 special Lee die, and I ended up cracking the carbide sizer on it. But that was my fault. I mean, that was something that I was doing. But I've had I have other Lee pistol dies that I've used. Heck, I have a set of 9mm ones that are dated like 1981, and I still use them. They work great, but there you go. And it's like what Walter said. There's other features in other die sets. Like RCBS has a different setup, the way that their mouth flaring works, and same thing with Lyman. So you might want to buy just that die, for your die set. There's lots of different options out there as far as reloading. But when getting off the track about what we were talking about earlier about the different aspects of the quality issue. I actually called a company one time and talked to them a little bit. And they were talking about how accurately their dies. It's a major manufacturer. And how accurately their dies will reload ammunition. And I said, "Well, will they do any better than Lee?" And you know what the guy told me? He said on the phone, he says, "Well, we're not going to guarantee that our stuff will load any better than Lee." I went, "Huh? I thought that's what you just got through telling me. Where's your? I'm getting a pitch that you guys there's nothing there. There's no substance to what you're talking about then." So. But their dies are built better than Lee's. I'll say that much. Yeah, but he wasn't going to put his money in where his mouth was when he said they would make more accurate ammunition than Lee. So.
I will tell you this: I have mixed sets of dies. I load many pistol calibers, many rifle calibers, and every now and then there's a RCBS die shoved in there in a certain spot. I'm not mentioning anything in a certain spot. And there's a whole set of Hornady dies with a Lee die shoved in there in a certain spot. And there's even Redding dies every now and then. I mean, you find what works for you and just use it. You find what you don't like about what you got, and then you find what works.
I agree.
I'm looking at a Lee turret with 3 RCBS dies in it, a Lee or 2 RCBS dies in it, a Lee and a Redding die in that same turret. You find what works and use it.
It's like who was it? CH dies. Edward Petty's liking that. I would love to have some CH dies.
Yep, they make good dies.
Like Paul Lloyd said in this comment, we wind up with what Kyle was talking about. We like RCBS for flaring. May have a Lee powder through flaring die, which is good. I mean, you can flare your case and drop your powder charge at the same time. And other companies have started to mimic duplicate some of Lee's ideas. But what inevitably happens, the longer you reload and the more different types of dyes or brand of dyes that you use, you develop favorites, and you wind up, like Kyle said, with a mixed set of dyes that you really love. What about presses? Are we press snobs too sometimes?
Maybe.
I'm gonna jump right out of the gate with this one. No, I am not a press snob. I've loaded probably more ammo on Lee presses than I have Dillon's or Reddings or RCBS. I've loaded a crap ton of ammo on the 4-hole turret press from Lee, and I don't know what it's going for now, but I think I picked mine up for like $89.
That's interesting, Pop. So using their expanding mandrels to do that.
I'm not a snob on reloading presses. I own all Lee. They've all three have served me very well. I've hand loaded 223 ammo to shoot out to 600 yards consistent on my Lee turret. My progressive handles all of my USPSA and IDPA ammo on a bulk base. I see no need to get anything else at this point in time because everything is serving me very well, very consistent. I turn out consistent ammo because I shoot a lot of it. So I see it's consistent. So I might venture into something blue one day or something green or something orange. Who knows? But for right now in my life, it serves me well. It's on a budget friendly, which I'm all about more bang for my buck. I got a playlist on my YouTube channel called More Bang for My Buck for a reason. So you like what you like. If it suits your purpose for what you're doing, great. If it doesn't, find what does.
I've got red ones, I've got green ones, I've got blue ones, and each one of them I choose to load a certain caliber on because it feels better on that color press, whatever I'm doing. But there's a lot more red ones than there are green ones and blue.
I'm not a snob either. I've got Lee press. I've got a Lyman press. I got another Lyman press. I've got an RCBS press. I've got a Pacific press. I got 2 Dillon presses and another Lee press mounted on my benches right now. All used different times for different purposes. I prefer some over the others for some purposes, but I like them all.
Now,
and I've had many other ones as well, and I like them. I like them all.
I will say this: when it comes to bullet sizing, being a caster, I do have preferable methods of doing it. The Lee method is wonderful. It served me for years. The NOE push through die is amazing. I love it. You can buy any size bushing you want. They'll custom make it for you if you want. Like my 38 specials, I like to traditionally lube them with an RCBS push through die, with that puts the lube and everything in it. It's find what works for you and use it. I mean, that's all you really got to do.
Yeah, and Lee's got at least one product that nobody has got a competitor for that I've seen yet, and that's that app press, the APP press,
Mhm.
and for doing batches of decapping, case sizing, or bullet sizing, you can't beat that thing. I don't think that was. I think I paid $75 for mine right after they first came out. That's one that I would not want to be without anymore. That
They've
thing
got a
just is really
Still hadn't
slick.
jumped on that train yet, so
they've got an updated model now. I think Julio sent me a link the other day. They've got a new app press. I don't know
Oh,
exactly what the difference of it is. I got to read up on it, but he was saying it's what they should have done to begin with, and it looks really good.
yeah,
oh,
I heard
cool.
they had a lot of problems with the original version, and people with 3D printers have made new parts and all that stuff and
Mhm.
made them better. And I heard that Lee had gotten a hold of some of these people and started making parts differently and stuff like that to make it better. So they came out with a whole new model of it?
I just an improved version, I guess. I don't know. I can send
Right.
you the link.
I don't want to bring credit into my quarter, but I got all set up with my stars, and automatic bullet feeders, the whole bit. I mean, it's a production outfit. I mean, it's a pro setup, and I don't expect anybody to go out there and buy something like that. I had a particular want and need for that, so I paid the extra money. However, what I do want to say, it wasn't too much longer after I started making videos about those machines, and other people made videos about star machines, that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, because of the advent of powder coating and powder coating community wanting to go faster with sizing their bullets, that the APP press came out,
Mhm.
and it mimics the star, the way it
Oh yeah,
operates,
yeah.
and
Push through, come out the bottom.
it's made for production, and it's made out of cheaper materials, but it's a price point thing. And there's nothing wrong with the APP press. I think that if anybody powder coat, look, this is my advice: if you started casting, okay, and then you started powder coating, and you were doing the one at a time push through thing, and you don't, I'll tell you what, just buy an APP press. Just buy one, and you won't even look over your shoulder. Even feeding them just one at a time, you're gonna just blow away. Just that thing about putting it on top of the little thing and then pushing it through as it goes up. When you just drop it in the deal and you just pull down on the handle and it pushes it out, man, you can get crazy fast after a while. You got to watch your fingers. You might end up running the ram into your finger. Really, I've done it on my star. That hurts. It does.
Well, you get one of your grandkids to feed the tube while you're pulling the lever, and then you guys just rock it out together.
That's the ticket right there, brother.
I got automatic bullet feeders, yeah. So you just pour the bullet. You know what's funny is I cast, and I don't even wait, a couple of weeks for them to harden or anything. I just pour them into the top of the automatic bullet feeder, turn it on, it fills the tube up. I just start pulling the handle. That's it. Boom, 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 boom. I got 1,000 rounds loaded. I got 1,000 rounds sized and lubricated, ready to go in about 45 minutes. It's super fast. But then again, it's a lot of money. I mean, you're talking about $65 for a die.
Yeah.
For the star, and you have to go to Star, or you have to go to that guy. The one guy, he has a website. It's called Lathe Smith, I think, and he makes duplicate dies for the star unit. And I actually, if you want a particular size die, you can go ahead and just call him, and or get a hold of him, email him, and he'll make you one.
And like Walter was saying in his 38 Super video, which those are very interesting bullets, by the way. I was really looking at those for my 38 special. But Lee has come up with a what do they call it? A modular sizing set where it's like the NOE thing where you just replace the inserts,
Right.
and you just have to screw everything together. I don't have an APP press, but wouldn't that setup work on like just the Lee Classic C, one hole press?
Lee's setup is made for a breech lock press, and it won't work in a non-breech lock press. But any breech lock press that you have, it'll work in. And you
Okay,
can feed them.
that's good
You can
info.
feed them
I
up vertically
appreciate
or drop them out the bottom, whichever way you want to orient that press. But yeah,
Thank you.
and
for
NOE
bringing that
even
up.
has a retro kit that you can use the NOE dies with Lee's breech lock system, which is nice because NOE makes a lot more sizes than Lee does.
And if I'm right, I think Lee's C Press, the new generation, is a breech lock.
Yeah, I fell in love with the NOE size and die philosophy, I guess you could call it, and because you can just tell them drill the hole this size, and they'll send it to you, and when you you size the bullets, they're that size,
Okay, if I could, go ahead. I need to say something. Go ahead.
If you need to say something, sir, say it.
We're running out of time, and one of our members of the side chat wants our opinion. And like everything else we've been talking about tonight, uh, scopes to prices of primers to all this other kind of stuff, that potential snobbery can leak into our actual firearms too. Are we agreed?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody got their favorite.
yes. And I may have a new one after seeing this.
Uh-oh.
Can y'all see that? Let me get back over here. Savage 110. It's a black and blue uh, stock 6 millimeter arc, 18-inch barrel, 12 round magazine. That is cool.
That is actually a pretty sexy little gun right there.
I would want it in wood naturally, walnut stock, because y'all know me. And I also would like a longer barrel. But I'm telling you, that's a good looking little gun. And
Mm-hmm.
what are our opinions of that? Go through the room. What do you think, Gene?
I don't know. I don't know about that arc.
Yeah, the caliber doesn't strike me, but the rifle itself does.
Yeah, the caliber doesn't, but the rifle itself that's a nice piece, especially for that price tag. That's really good.
Yeah, if you could get that in 6.5 by 284 with a 24-inch barrel, yeah.
What other calibers do they offer that in?
I just looked up what he sent me. 6 millimeter arc is what a lot of the long range guys are using.
Yeah, I work at a reloading place, and we do not see that much 6 millimeter arc brass come through.
I can tell you this from experience. I can do enough with a 308. I don't need any of this special stuff. If I need to go anything further than that, I'm using 20 millimeter or above.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to step up to a 30-06 at that point, or the best caliber known to man. What is that?
30-30.
That'd be 270 Winchester, sir. And I see a lot of that brass. Now, see,
I'm sorry, I had to
now
throw
we get
30-30 in there just for the giggles.
Yeah. We get brass from all over the United States. We just got a huge bag a couple bags from Sacramento. We get it from Jersey. We get it from Florida. And so I get to see what's being shot the most. And that by the amount coming in, that dictates how much is being shot the most. That 6mm arc bucket is barely covered in the bottom of the brass.
Yeah.
The 30-06 is a 30-gallon barrel.
Right.
The 270 Winchester is a 5-gallon bucket full. You know, so, and, you know, 6.5 Creedmoor, that's a 5-gallon bucket full. So, and this comes from all over. This comes from all over the country by all different shooters. So we collected it in one place, and I get to go through it. So I see what's being used the most, and that caliber is scarce.
Good night, Andy.
Good night, Andy.
Not Andy.
Not Andy. Now that does not mean it's not a good caliber, but I do not see a lot of brass from it. I love working at a reloading place.
I tell you, that's about the only way the 6 arc appeals to me is as a bolt gun. It just doesn't do anything for me as an AR, but that's what it's built on. But to me, the bigger 6mm are more my thing. But it's a neat little gun. I love the 6.5 Grendel, and it's really close to that. I have a 6.5 Grendel in a bolt, and it's a dandy little gun. It's a tack driver. It's so easy to shoot. It's super accurate, and I'm sure the arc would be exactly the same.
And here's another thing for new reloaders and shooters that are watching this show. Don't be impressed or persuaded by all these new calibers. Stick with the old stuff because it works.
Okay, time out.
Every day they're coming out with a new caliber,
Chico's in the house. Chico's in the
What's
house.
up, Chico?
House.
Okay,
Chico!
Chico's in the house. Boy. Chico's in the house.
What's going on, guys?
This is what we're talking about tonight. See?
Now G23 says 6.5 need more because he don't have one. He's never shot one.
No, it's Man Bun Creedmoor. Come on, guys, get it right.
Now the 6.5 by 55 Swede, now I see a lot of that too. But 30-06 rules the roost on recycled.
I don't know
brass.
what the action. I don't know what the action length is on that, the 6mm arc, but if I could get something that was in like in that package from Savage that had a bolt length to accommodate the 7.5 by 55, I'd go ahead and I'd have it chambered in 7.5 by 55 with a 1/11 twist, and I'd have it set up so where you're on the lands and the whole bit. And I bet that would be a tack driver rifle. That'd be awesome.
You can't go wrong with the tried and true, man.
Yeah.
30 for the beat. Chico, my man, thanks for joining us, dude. How you been?
My tired is tired.
That's bad.
Did he just say how tired is tired?
No, I said my tired is tired.
Oh. I'm sorry, partner.
No problem. I hope everybody been doing well, man. I've been working crazy. I took on the dang promotion, and it's weighing me the heck out.
Uh-oh. It's Mr. Chico now, huh?
No, it's still like Mr. Chico.
Darn good to see you, Chico. Congrats on the promotion.
Appreciate it, man. Good seeing all y'all out there, man. I'm late too, man. Let me tell you what was crazy about it, man. I've been trying to get on for the last hour. I updated my phone and lost all my passwords.
Oh no!
I had to go through the verification process to Google.
Yeah, my phone went sideways too. I don't know what's up with that.
They shut off 8.1 on me, and then I lost everything. Having to start a whole new computer.
Yep.
Yeah, I lost all my passwords, everything. I lost everything in that. Yeah, just went over there one day and it was off. That was it.
Well,
Done.
we're glad you're here, my
Goodbye.
friend.
Glad to be here, guys.
Hey man, I might be calling you up soon.
Sure, you got my number,
We
man.
need-
It don't change. It's been the same number for a while.
Yeah, but I never know when you're busy or when you're out with Carter or anything like that. So
Call me anytime, brother.
I'm thinking about a road trip. So
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
save up some money.
Where are we
We
going?
might- Ohio, maybe.
Woohoo!
Ohio.
OH10.
OH10.
So let me do some introductions. Chico, I don't think you've met Hillbilly Up. Have you met Hillbilly Up yet?
No, we hadn't actually been on a show
live
together.
stream,
No.
but I think I followed him from when I was in the side chat on one of the other lives.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Good to
Nice
see
to
you,
meet you,
though.
bro.
Good meeting you.
Yes, sir.
He's crazy. Don't listen to him.
Now,
And that
Jamie,
goes for both of you.
Jamie, I didn't get to say my part on about presses. Can I say that real quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, this is my pros and cons on presses. So, I like bench presses and garlic presses. I'm against press on fingernails. So,
What about eyelashes?
yeah, they're okay.
Okay.
Press on eyelashes.
Unless they look like a broom.
I'm sorry, Billy, but that was funny. I'm sitting here laughing. I had
Look at this.
to mute myself.
All right, guys. We got Mike Hester's the big wig tonight. What I'm talking about, his birthday's next week. He's getting to be a pawpaw.
Nice.
Heck yeah, brother.
All right.
Happy
Welcome.
birthday and congrats.
So
Yeah,
great.
that's it. Now the work begins, dude.
Congratulations.
Great
Oh, yeah.
birthday news.
Yeah.
And Chico got a promotion. Big week.
Actually,
Boy,
you know what? I
mean,
was just about to type that in the side chat. Look, so back in October, who else got a promotion? G23. He's out in the side chat.
He is.
Back when he got a promotion, I got a promotion. That was like in October. That's how busy I've been, brother. They've been having me train new people, and we've been losing people. So you know how that goes with government work. So
Damn. Everybody's getting a promotion. Hell, I lost my damn job.
Chico got
Kyle, I thought you went and started up with another company, though. I thought you got a job offer like the very next day from somebody else.
Oh, I did, but we're not done with the process. Background checks
yeah.
and all that.
Does a promotion count in my job if I went from hand sorting rifle brass to the actual sorting machine?
yeah.
Does that count as a promotion?
Promotions are great. Down at work, you make a little more money and stuff. But, every promotion that I've ever gotten into working for the government was just the next level of a learning curve of a bunch of stuff I didn't even have any clue about how it worked. And a lot of times it's like they promote people to that to figure it out for them. And you're like the trial guy.
It's the next level of bullshit that they didn't want
It's
to
the next level of competence is what it is. I mean, you're just like, golly, I don't know anything about this, so you gotta bone up and, do your stuff, study a little bit about it, I'm telling you. But hey, that's great, man. For Chico though, it's fantastic, dude. I think that's great, man.
Hell
Bring
yeah.
more money in, provide better for your kid. You got a better, your better home, better lifestyle. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. And that's the American way, dude.
Maybe you can afford more gas to bring your son over here to the pool.
I have to get out there, definitely, bro.
Okay, guys, we better start winding it up and clearing the way for Mr. Gizzard Gary at 10 o'clock. Chico, you want to start?
Sure, man. I know I'm late, guys, but thanks everyone in the side chat for hanging out with us for another Friday night Jordan Shooting Connection. It's good seeing everyone, and man, I don't got much. I'm not working on much. just taking care of my son. We switched schools, also doing this same transition. So our plate's been real full. So thanks everyone for hanging out, everybody on the panel, and we'll see you guys next one. Let me shoot it over to it's easy. Let's do Thor's Axe.
Well, right now, I'm still in like indolent mode. I have a hard time getting around and doing my stuff and just taking care of myself right now rather than just doing reloading equipment and doing reloading stuff. But I do like getting on the panels and stuff and sharing some of the experience I have. Take it or leave it. Sometimes I come across a little bit snobbish, I guess. But the one thing I can say for anybody out there that's interested in reloading and wants to get into reloading, get with somebody who already reloads and sit down with those guys and spend an evening over at their house, and do some reloading with them and chip in for some of the components and stuff, and then go out and shoot that ammunition. And you'll really see the fallacy of going out and buying factory ammunition, and you also in the end you're making something yourself and you're getting the benefit of something that you made. And why go out and buy something when you can manufacture it yourself? That's about all I got to say. So that's my best advice for people just starting.
Hold up real quick. Did you say go shoot somebody else's ammunition who reloads?
Well, no, I said chipping for the components. Okay, you didn't hear that part? Chipping for the components. I did. Primers, bullets, whatever, powder, chipping a little money and spend the night over there at the, some
I heard you. I was just saying, bro.
For the sake of YouTube, he said, reload your own ammunition at somebody else's house and then go shoot it.
Nah, I'm just giving you crap, Dave.
Meet Chico.
He can't wait. He can't wait to get off the chat so he can crank up Peter Gabriel's "Big Time" because he got a promotion. Big time. I'm on my way. I'm making it. That's it.
Who's up next?
Mark.
Howdy, folks. Came back a little late too. Got a lot of knowledge out there in the chat, even with our censorship and in our community. And here on YouTube, we tend to get to where we're helping each other out. And some of us can get stuck in our ways, whether it's 30 years or 3 years of experience. And just remember, we all got something to learn and we all got something to share. Don't forget that.
Amen.
Amen.
Mark.
Hell, I'll go ahead. Nobody else jumping in. I
was done. So
I want to say thank y'all to those that have watched my recent videos. Yes, I started making videos. Yes, I'm bored. Oh, good God. Not me. Okay. I want to say, of course, a wonderful thank you to Chico. And you have an open invitation, you and Carter, to come to the house. And Dave, even though you live over in the commie side, you have an open invitation. Everybody has an open invitation. Y'all come over to the house. We'll barbecue some stuff. We'll have a good time. And I got to do some powder coating. I rearranged my loading table out here outside, and it's all clean. I don't know what to do with it. I got to mess it up. I don't know how to do it.
I'll bring the dirty armpit of America to you.
Come on, brother.
Kyle, I'd love to come down there. I'd love to come down there, kick my feet up there on the stump, and sit next to the wood stove and have a nice hot cup of coffee and chew the fat with you, man. That'd be awesome.
Well, you're going to have to bring your own coffee because I'm not a coffee drinker anymore. Mm. But I'm not opposed to it. But, yeah, I got the outside reloading bench cleaned up, and in pure form. It's ready to rock and roll, and I got some powder coating to do. I guess that's what I'm doing tomorrow. All right, I'm out. Thanks, everybody. I guess I'll throw it over to Mark with a C.
All righty. Well, I planning on staying busy. I got a couple of more projects coming up in the leather works. Got a dual rig for Firearms Addict, two nice short 5.5-inch 357s. I got a nice 7.5-inch holster for Rob Hamilton over at Hamilton Outdoors, and I'm hoping somewhere in there I can squeeze some of those little 32 wad cutters in, get those loaded up, and get a range trip. It's been too long.
Thanks for being here, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. And hey, I'm still awake.
All right, Hillbilly, what you got coming up this week?
Oh man, like I said, I just released that video today. It's got a challenge with it, so I'd like to, if anybody'd like to try out that challenge. It was a lot of fun for me. Anyway, Saturday night, tomorrow night at 9:00 Central, we got a show, Guns, Beer, and Therapy, and we just have a lot of fun over there. And just you ain't got nothing going on Saturday night, jump on and visit with us. Always a great panel on there, and like that, we just have a lot of fun. And I just want to thank you guys so much for having me on. It's been a blast. I always have a fun time here, and I appreciate it so much.
Well, thank you for joining us, buddy. CW, you want to go next?
Sure. I'm easy. I'm not really doing much of anything because I still can't spend much time on my feet. And when I do spend on my feet, it's either fetching something for the wife or doing my therapy stretches. So I'm still recuperating from this knee. It's been a whole lot more painful than I thought it would be. But I'm improving, and the pain is reducing. Talk about being tired. Listen to Chico there. I've got about 3 to 4 months before I'm going to get a good night's sleep. That's the way it goes with these things, and they just they seem to settle in and start aching when you're sitting still and at nighttime. You know, you can't ice them or nothing, so they seem to really get that good deep ache going on. You got a lot of bone work done, and it's anybody who's ever broken a big bone, it's you know how that can be. It's not really painful per se. It's an agonizing deep ache.
Yep.
And it's just
Wish you quick recovery, bud.
Yeah.
Got the t-shirt, dude. I know. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
Yep. So that's all I'm working on. I got the ideas for a couple more videos. I got a couple of requests for a couple videos, and I'm gonna try and do what I can, but I make no guarantees with that. I got a new mold I did a video on. My buddy dropped off. I'm buying from him, and I've got another mold due in. I'm hoping by the end of the month, but it doesn't really matter because I can't do anything with it yet. But so I got a couple things going on, but nothing major. I got a little project I just finished up. We were talking about before the chat. I modified that beautiful cane that Mark with a C sent me some months back for my to use during my rehab, and I'm making the transition from the walker to the cane, or to the staff as I call it now. So I'll be using that a lot more, and so that's gonna be nice. So maybe I'll do a quick video on what I did with that, or something to put up. But just to reiterate what I said before, guys, I'm sorry I can't see the side chat. So if you made comments for me, I apologize. I'm on my cell phone. I can't sit, so I've got to get with my feet up. So I got a position here where I can get my foot up and I can ice, and I could tolerate the 2-hour sit. Otherwise, it's something I couldn't do. So I apologize for not answering any comments that were out there addressed to me. But that's why I didn't see them. So I appreciate everybody. I appreciate being on here tonight, and I appreciate all the side chat. You guys were rocking tonight. Going by all the comments from the guys, there was a lot going on, and it was a good time. Pretty good topic, and good seeing all you fellers.
Feel better, my brother. Holler if you need me.
Thank you, sir.
Whatever it takes. Great to see you, CW.
Yeah, same here, CW. You call me anytime. I'm in the same boat with you.
Hey, Mig. Bye, Mig. There's Mig. Okay. Running short of time. Go for it, Walter.
Okay, just real quickly, this weekend I'm going to get out and shoot some loads through that new 38 Super that I got. That'll be fun. I got more casting and whatnot to do next week. We're kind of in a rainy spell here right now, though. Can't do a whole lot. I'm hoping the range doesn't shut down due to flooding. Last time we had this much rain, they shut the whole place down. We couldn't get in or out of the place, but I think we're still good. So that's me. Nothing else real thrilling at this point. I'll get through this 38 Super Series, do a couple more videos on that, and then I'll start something else. So that's it. Gene, the reloading machine.
Whoop, whoop. I get so many comments about Gene, the hacker killer machine and stuff like that. And it's great. I love having my name, man. It just goes with everything.
Gene, you're all blue. What are you, the Viagra man?
Not yet.
You're all blue, dude. You're the Viagra man, dude.
It's just
They're
my
for-
life right here.
There for a while, you
I'm-
Gene the crypto machine.
There you go.
I'm so blue. Oh. Hey, first I want to plug my work. It's Republic Ammunition. You can go to republicammunition.com. You could email them, call them. If you do not see what you're looking for on the site, projectile, brass, primer, or powder, call and ask. You know, we have a lot of stuff that's not on the website. I've had a couple questions out there about that, so just call and ask. That's all you have to do. If we don't have it, we probably will be getting it. If we know it's not available at this moment, it's just being processed. That's all there is to it. Other than that, let's see. I got a USPSA classifier match on Sunday, so I'll be practicing for that all day tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Hopefully I got something new coming in for USPSA very soon. I get to share with all of you. Man, it's great to be on this chat. I look forward to Friday nights. Man, Friday when I wake up, I think, oh, man, it's Friday. It's Friday. Georgia Shooting Connection. Yes, here we go.
100%, buddy.
I get some schooling on in this place, man. I've learned so much from these gentlemen around me.
Remember what I said, Kyle, about the wood stove, kicking back, having that cup of coffee? That's exactly what this is on a Friday night to me.
Yes.
Just hanging out and letting it go. And you know, that goes to all the side chat and everything, man. You guys got a spot. You know, just clear off a spot anywhere you want to sit, man. That's, you know, hey, we're just gonna sit around and chew the fat.
Why are you bringing out the wood stove?
Keep you warm, Daddy.
See that right there? I found that at work. I find some weird stuff at work. This is a 308 cartridge.
Blank. Yeah, it's a 308 blank.
Isn't that? I see. So I've never seen one of these before. No, that is.
Oh, they're very common.
All the brass I go through, tens of thousands of rounds. This is the only one I found.
They're used for various things.
Yeah, M60 familiarization. They got belts full of that stuff, and they fire it off. You know, to train the soldiers how to, you know, shoot the M60 or, you know, that sort of thing. Belt fed.
I just thought that was cool. I thought I'd share that quick.
I like it.
Things that amaze me. Doesn't take much.
That's my motto of life, Gene.
They're
Simple
also
mindset.
amazingly wonderful for golf ball launching.
I bet, man, that would make a great tee.
Oh, no, bad.
What?
But I'm talking about out of a rocket launcher.
Well, no
Oh,
kidding.
I thought about launching actual golf balls off of it. I'm thinking in the box.
Oh, come on now. No,
Hey,
those
hey.
are used for
Okay.
a lot of things. They're training tools and everything else. Anyway,
Okay, we're late. We got to get out of here. Golly, I wish we could hang out, but we're already over time for Gizzard Gary. I hope he don't hate me. Monday nights, MacMan, 9 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday nights, the Reloading podcast at 8. Wednesday night is Chris from the 740. Thursday night, also on Wednesday night, High Boy Battle Room Bible Study. Y'all check that out. Thursday night, High Boy's on again. AR's on sometimes on Thursday. Friday night, of course, is us and Gizzard Gary. Saturday night, starting Saturday morning, you've got, what's his name? Help me, Chico. You're muted.
GTF is Sunday.
I'm thinking of
Saturday
help
morning.
Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Anyway, it's
Dang.
Caliber Corner.
Caliber Corner.
Yeah.
Travis
Travis
P11.
P11.
Travis
Yeah.
P11. Yeah.
and Sunday
Okay.
we got Sunday evening we got Craig, Georgia shooting and
Trapping and
Georgia
fishing.
trapping and
We're not through with Saturday yet. We got G23 at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. Uncle Jim, and then American Hillbilly. Then on Sunday, please, thanks for not letting me forget, Kyle. We got Georgia Trapping and Fishing at 3 o'clock, and then Foreign and Domestic at 7. Or is it 2 o'clock for Trapper?
Trapper's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. There you go. Okay. We hope the Lord blesses y'all all real good. Sorry I messed that up so bad. I'll have notes next week.
it was beautiful. And good night, everyone.
Good night,
Y'all-
folks.
Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah. See you guys next Friday.
Thanks for playing along, everyone.
Let's see y'all.